Hello, and thank you for joining us. This is No Soundbites Allowed, and I am your host, Michael Voss, Dragon of the Southern Tier. I'm happy to be here with you today. And today we're going to be talking about something that I think is very important, a public service announcement. For many people who are over the COVID-19 and just in general over the years, many people as they get older, they start to get phone calls from various individuals. Sometimes they're asking for investments into a Nigerian bank account that someone has died and left them millions of dollars in their name to, or some other get rich quick scheme that is out there. And sometimes there are different variations on these ideas. And being a former stockbroker, I have many people who sometimes contact me about stock ideas or investment ideas or other stock companies, brokerage firms, to see if they're legit, if these are good ideas, if the investment makes sense. And I do this as a private citizen now, no longer a licensed broker. I want to be very clear about that. And because today I am talking as a private individual at 12:46 a.m. on April 19th, I'm going to be speaking from my personal opinion. This is not a professional statement. This isn't a legal statement. It is my opinion based on the facts I'm able to determine, but I want to share that with you so that you can make your own determination properly to evaluate these kinds of calls that you may get from time to time properly and to be more safe in your investing. Now, for people who are wondering, gee, Mike, have you ever been a broker? Or what kind of things have you talked to people about? Well, I can refer you back to, and I very publicly did this on the MVOS website, the Voss Political Commentary. Back in 2011, I publicly made a review and a challenge, an investment ideology that I personally was involved with on April 19th of 2011, actually November of 2010, with the GM government stock IPO, where in that we had taken a position that I currently had held of Alcoa, and I compared that investment into the government's investment in GM. And on April, we were able to determine that I had hit my target price, a 40% gain in less than 60 months, and a current at that time value of 26.8% profit versus the government's investment into GM at the IPO price of $33. And it was at that time a loss of 9.2%. So I've been able, and you can go and you'll see the link in the description if you ever want to read that to see some of the reasons why I made that choice and why I presented the public why the government had made the wrong choice with their IPO that eventually did wind up losing money for you and me, the taxpayers of America. So when I do these things, I do want to say it, I'm speaking from a voice of some credibility and knowledge. I have done this for a living. I am familiar with it, and I still do watch and advise friends, help them, well, not advise, I give them help when it comes to investing from time to time. Now, that's very important because I had a very interesting call this evening, and a friend of mine, an older person, had contacted me and wanted to ask me about an investment. And in fact, what they brought up was they came off with this statement. I have a question. Have you ever heard of Tradersmining stock? Okay, that was new to me. I had not heard that before. And I said, no, I didn't. And I said, is that the name of the company? And they said, yes, that is the name. It looks legal, but none of the banks had ever heard of it. If you are being contacted by any company, any brokerage firm, any broker, I understand brokers make phone calls to potential investors. I used to do it as well. It's part of the industry. That's not a bad thing. But when someone calls you from a brokerage firm that you've never heard of, that the local banks have never heard of, this raises a red flag. This is something that should be your first indication. Who am I really talking to? Something sounds off about this. Then the next thing that was said is that I searched for this company by the name that she had told us. What she said, this was the name of the company. And I could not find such a company. No such stock existed. And they told my friend, whose identity we have hidden here, as you can see, to protect their identity. They said that there was an account started in their name, that account had $7,000 in it, and then they gave us the link to that company. Now, I want to be very clear. If there is a company that has reached out to you, and out of the blue, and they say there's an account with your name on it, and that you can access that account with the funds that are already in that account and use it for your own profit, this is a massive red flag. There is a problem here. That is not legal. I don't care what company is, and I'm not saying this is or is not a legal company. I am going to tell you, you cannot do that. There are many laws against this. It is fraudulent, it is potentially money laundering, it is potentially a violation of the Patriot Act and being able to fund terrorist organizations around the world. They get funding through these kind of things. So it is potentially a violation of law. Again, I'm not saying that this company is breaking the law. I'm not saying this is an illegal company, but I am saying that kind of transaction is illegal. And if I were a stockbroker back in the day, or any broker that I knew, ever tried to do something like that, they would be facing jail time. It is a crime. You will go to jail for that, and you will get audited by the IRS. So this person has come to my friend and said, hey, this account has $7,000 in it. It matches your name. I can guarantee you the Social Security number didn't match because they didn't open up that account. I can tell you that all the banking and address information would not match because this is not my friend's account. They never opened that account. This is an illegal transaction. That is a fact. Laws may have changed a bit. That didn't change. This is illegal. So my friend was somewhat concerned, and this person continued. And I'm going to go over their website so I can show you on their website some of the red flags you can identify when someone calls you from a strange company asking for your money and your personal information. This is a public service announcement, just my opinion on some of the things you can see. We're going to go to that in 1 second, but they went on to say and ask my friend to go in and look at a $15,000 slot. I'll explain what that means in a second. And they had given her a password so that she would be able to access this account. Again, this is illegal if any funds are transferred in or out. My friend went on to say, hey, they told me, have fun, because this guy thought she was dumb and wanted to tell her that she couldn't withdraw any of the $7,000 that were in that account. But what he would need to do is they would need to create $3,000. Either she would need to make a $3,000 deposit into that account to be able to take out the $7,000, which is illegal, or to do transactions that would raise the value up to $10,000 so that they could then take it. By the way, if you have a transaction, if you were receiving $9,999, and I believe because of the Patriot Act, they have lowered that to $5,000 now. This happened after I left as a broker. The rules did change, and I believe they lowered it to $5,000. The IRS is notified of that transaction, of that wire transfer of funds. So if someone's saying, don't worry, you can do it because it's $10,000, no, that's not true. And again, I believe the regulation was changed to $5,000. The IRS, the federal government, is notified of all wire transfers that occur to look for terrorism and possible terrorist money laundering activities. This is a crime. It is illegal. I'll say it again for you. So if someone is offering that to you, these are major red flags. Don't do this. Do not give them your information. That is my opinion. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to do it. This is what I am advising anyone I would speak to if they told me these things, as I did to my friend. And they said, and they remembered, and I hadn't spoken to them about investing in some time, and said, you dealt with stocks? Of course, I was a stockbroker. And I mentioned that when I looked at it, it looked like a fake day trading brokerage firm. Now I'm going to explain why I thought that in just a moment, because I am walking you through this so that no matter how they approach you, you will be prepared and you can make an educated decision for yourself, no matter what you wish to do. She felt that this was something that would be able to drain people's accounts, which I tend to agree. Now, it looked like this is not a U.S. business, but that isn't exactly correct, and I will clarify that in a moment. And I said, it doesn't have an SEC certification. The funds are not FIDC insured. And they're trading derivatives, not stocks or bonds. This isn't a stock company. Now, I'm going to explain what all that means, but I can tell you right now, if you don't know what SEC certification is, if you do not know what FDIC insured funds are, if you do not know what derivatives and why that's different than a stock or a bond, don't invest. You need to educate yourself before you start investing. These are basic things to understand about the stock market or making an investment. And if you don't know what they are, don't do it. Learn what they are first. Learn what that means and why it's important, which I'm going to go over a little bit with you here so that you are an informed investor so someone will not rip you off and take your money. Please be aware. Educate yourself and you will make better investments and you will make more money and you will be more protected. And that's an important thing. And I do advise that if you are going to invest, get a broker. It is very helpful. It is a good thing. Someone who is licensed with the United States government, the SEC, that is a critical thing. Now, I did say that this is what it looks like, and it's just and I was just making a quick look at their homepage, which I'm going to show you in a moment. And I have a lot of red flags. There are problems that I am identifying as a former stockbroker, as someone who is an investment specialist, an investment advisor, handling millions of dollars for many of my clients for years, almost 10 years. She mentioned that she didn't think this joker was real and that they wanted monies from the sale of her house to go into this idea that seems very illegal and I can tell is breaking several laws. So she then goes on to say, I said, so what did they say to you? What is it was being said? Because I started thinking about making this video at that point in the conversation with my friend. And they said, she thought that it was too good to be true. And that's another sign. If you hear something that sounds just too good to be true, it probably is. 99% of the time. She said she was going, what she wanted to do to test it, to see what was going on here, was open a separate account. And sometimes people think this, well, I'll just open a brand new bank account that isn't connected to all my other information so that they can't grab all of my money. Don't do this. This is dangerous, something I spoke with them about and let them know about a little bit later, a separate conversation. But that's because, as she identified, the bank mentioned that they could still drain whatever funds are put into this new separate bank account and that they could possibly charge fees, overdraft, to try and take out extra money. And any of those overdrafts would be your responsibility as the person who opened up that account. So you're still at risk. You can still lose money, both the money that you have in that bank account and then any fees for overcharges that could be made. They're still your responsibility. This is another problem for you, even when there's a fraud. And what she was told is, oh, you're going to double your money in no time. Again, if someone is saying you're going to double your money and that the risk is almost non-existent, that's not true. Every investment has risk. Even the best investments in the world, the things that everyone is sure is going to work out, have risk. Always. And when anyone promises you'll just double your money, there's no way you could possibly know that without that stock or that investment being manipulated, which means there is something going wrong. There is a crime that is being committed. There's no way to know that. Even the best investment, the safest investment you can think of, U.S. bonds, have risk attached to them. That's right, U.S. bonds, U.S. Treasury notes, and certificates, they have risk too. So there is always risk in any investment that you can make that is a legal and legitimate investment. And if someone is promising you you're going to double your money, triple your money, it's going to be a home run and skyrocket and you'll be able to retire, they are probably lying to you, or they are exaggerating the risk-reward ratio. If it were so great, I can tell you this very honestly, and it's a great thing to think about. If someone is selling you this idea of how you're going to get rich instantly, why are they telling you? If it was such a guaranteed success, if it was so absolutely guaranteed to make money, why are they giving you that choice? If there's no risk involved and you're going to make money, it's just going to fall into your lap, why would I tell you? Why wouldn't I make that money for myself and keep it a secret so that no one spoils whatever plan, whatever the properties are that allow me to make so much money? Why would I tell someone else who could let the secret out and therefore stop me from making all that money? It's a very simple question, and it's a very important question. It's one thing to say, I have an investment as a stockbroker, and saying, I think that investment will make money over time. I think it could get 40% in 6 months. I think it could go more or less. That's a different question, and that is a different idea than saying, oh, you're going to double your money in no time at all. That's not true. That doesn't mean there isn't risk. And even with, as the example I put out there, which you can track, which was for 6 months, we made it very clear there was risk. The stock went higher, the stock went lower. There was risk involved. There always is risk involved. You may lose money. It is always possible. Anyone who's telling you it can't is lying to you, or they have a scheme. Now, and the last of the video pictures I'm going to show you about the conversation I had with my friend, again, protecting their identity. They said to me, that they were promised that they would be able to live off the dividends and that they would get close to $1,000 every week or more. And then here's the another thing. So again, that you're going to live off the dividends, you can live off the dividends. Really? No. If it's so great, why aren't you doing it? Why are you telling anyone else about this secret? I get close to $1,000 a week. No one can guarantee how much money you're going to make off of an investment. You can project, and every broker does. Every investment analyst does. Everyone in the stock market does make projections, targets that they have that they expect may or may not be hit on any various market movement. But no one knows the dollar amount that you're going to be able to make off of whatever investment. No one can tell you that, oh, you're going to make $1,000 a week. That is someone who is scamming you. That is someone who doesn't trade with you honestly. That is a red flag. They finally said, if I got other people to invest, I'd get from them as well. That is a Ponzi scheme. If other people have to invest and you're making money off of someone else's investment, that's not legal. That sounds like a Ponzi scheme to me. That's when the last person out loses everything, the first person in makes all the money, and everyone else in between thinks they're making money until someone walks off. That's how Bernie Madoff made his money. And if you don't know who that is, look up the name Bernie Madoff and look at the Ponzi scheme that he created, where some of his friends made money and many, many others lost millions of dollars. It was horrendous. That's why the man went to jail until he died last week at the age of, I believe he was 82. Because these are scams. These are the types of things that are said in scams. Again, I cannot legally say, and I am not saying that this company is a scam. I am saying that there are many red flags and several things that if I said as a stockbroker, when I was working as a stockbroker back in the 90s and early 2000, that I would have gone to jail for, that I would have been sued to death. And the federal government would have been all over me for this. And again, I'd have gone to jail. These are things that I, if as a stockbroker, as a licensed stockbroker back in the 90s, if I had said this to my clients, I would lose my job. I would be liable to lawsuit, and I could go to jail for these kind of statements because they are not real. They are not investing. These are scams. So I then asked my friend if they thought it was a U.S. company. And they responded, and they were speaking to me as I was typing to them. And they said, when it's too good to be true, don't do it. My dad always said, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. And you know what? That's a pretty honest and realistic expectation. If it's too good, if it's so guaranteed, if it is so absolutely a home run with no downside for you whatsoever, something's wrong. Because that's not an investment. That's some kind of criminal enterprise. That's a scam. 9 out of 10 times. 10 out of 10 times. In my opinion, I've always found that to be true. Now, I'm going to go with you, and I want you to understand. So when someone has had that kind of, took one too many away. So if someone's had that kind of conversation with you, I want you to have several red flags up. If they have promised you the sky and no way that you can fall, be scared. Be aware that someone may be trying to scam you. Do not give these individuals your social security number. Do not give them your bank information. Do not create a second or separate bank account and then allow them access to that. You can still be liable to losses because of that. They can still use that to try and access your identity and to steal your identity for that separate bank account with the information you have provided. Do not give them anything if you have doubts. And even if you're talking to a legitimate brokerage firm and you have questions in the way that someone is dealing with you over that phone, check them out. I will show you how to do that in just a second. You have every right to find out who is this person, why are they saying these things to me, and are they legitimate? So let's actually look at this company. As I said, this is their homepage. This is tradersmining.com for Traders Mining. They are a Forex and derivatives company. Again, if you don't know what the Forex is, if you don't know what derivatives trading is, do not get involved. Do not get involved in things you don't know anything about. It's too easy for someone to abuse your lack of knowledge and to take your money. So when I look at this page, the first thing I noticed that made me say, hey, there's a red flag here. Where is, on this first page, where is the name of the company? And I want you to look over this page carefully. See, the contact us is above. Do you see their name anywhere? There is no name for this company. That is a red flag immediately for me. It looks like a nice page. It doesn't have anyone's name. I'll give you an example of what's different. This is Morgan Stanley, one of the largest brokerage firms in the world. You see their name. This is E-Trade. They're one of the largest personal direct brokerage firms in the world where you get to handle the transaction for yourself. See their name right up in the corner. They want you to know who they are. They want you to know that they're a legit company. This company doesn't have their name on the front page. Why don't they want you to know their name? And if you're thinking it's because I'm on the wrong page, well, that's the second page that they have available. They are not telling you who they are. This is their homepage. This is where you're supposed to know. That is a red flag when you're looking at a site of someone who says, no, we're a legit company. Great. Why is your company name not on there? Don't you want people to know who you are? Second problem that I have instantly when I look at this page, and again, use these techniques for yourself to evaluate a company and see what you're comfortable with. Again, I'm not saying this is a legitimate company or not. I'm telling you the things that are giving me red flags that would make me say to anyone I know, don't be involved with this company. And that is, we see that they say Hamburg. And if you check on that, they have London. London, look at their London hours. 10 until 6. And if you look at New York, and then you go to London again, and now Hamburg isn't showing up anymore. So already there's a problem. What happened to Hamburg, which is in Germany? Where is that? That information is now gone because we looked at it and we see London and now we see New York. And when I click on New York, now the number isn't changing, by the way. But when I look at London and they're showing me Monday through Friday, 10 to 6 in military time, and then they have this +1, which would generally make people think, well, this is an international company. They're showing a country code. And that country code, is that 19? Well, then there aren't enough digits in that phone number. That doesn't make sense because in the United States, we don't list phone numbers with the +1. That's usually only done when you're looking at country codes. And by the way, if you're looking at the country codes, let's look at this. So Germany, which is where Hamburg is, their country code starts with 49. That's not what they're showing here. That's not +49. So that's not the country code. Let's go and look at what's the number for the United Kingdom. Scrolling on down, and you can look this up. This is countrycode.org. Again, the links will be in the description so you can see this for yourself. But the United Kingdom has a country code of 44. So this should be +44 because we're looking at London. If this is a London phone number, it should start +44 because we're in the United States. Instead, it says +1. Well, the country code with +1 is the United States. So this is a US phone number, not an international number, but it makes you want to think they're an international company because they're showing London and Hamburg, which is the United Kingdom and Germany, except the number isn't changing. So they're deceiving. It's somewhat deceptive, and it makes you think that they have international offices, except they don't. They have the same phone number for all of those numbers. That is another red flag. You're showing me information that isn't being verified and doesn't make sense. Why are you showing me Hamburg and London and New York for a phone number, by the way, that isn't in New York? The number is actually in California. 925-315-8458. Again, that's their phone number. And that number has 3 complaints with the FTC, which is a federal agency which goes over regulations on phone calls, on trading and transactions dealing with Forex and derivatives and options trading. So we know that this prefix code is for California, and in particular, the region of California. I had it up here before, but this is in the... I had the area of California that it was, Livermore. So it's not an international company. So there is another red flag. They're not in New York, they're not in London, they're not in Hamburg, according to their website. And if they are in there and they don't have that information done on their website properly, besides not having their name, then this is a company that has so little care about who they are, they're not taking care of their website. If they can't afford to have a web designer that could actually put that information in, or they were so lazy that when they did do it, they didn't put in the information properly and no one checked, if they are that sloppy, then that's a company I don't want to work with for my investments. Because if they can't pay attention to their own phone number, how are they supposed to pay attention to your investments? This is a red flag, no matter how you want to look at it, if this is a legitimate company or not, and I tend to believe not. So let's look some more. So we have the homepage. So one of the things that I look at is, here's the other thing. It says our regulations. I have a problem here because our regulations doesn't mean United States federal regulations. These aren't SEC regulations, FTC regulations. These aren't regulations that registered brokers and dealers actually have to go by. That's just their house rules. That's them. That's like going to play Monopoly and you're playing the house rules of Monopoly. These are our house rules and they can be whatever they want them to be. That's not federal. That's them. But it looks official because of the background on the page. And if you click on that, what do you get? That they use websites and now they want your email. They want your email address and a password to get in. Why won't they show you anything? Why are they not telling you what their regulations are? What are their rules? What is it that they're doing with your money? They don't want to tell you. There is a problem. That is a red flag. You're not going to tell me. You're going to hide this so that I can't see the information. That is a red flag. If I go to Morgan Stanley, as an example, and I'm looking through their page, and we're looking at something similar, their wealth management trading. Let's look at sales and trading. Look at that. They give us a page, and they give us something to look at. And now we have information about all of the transactions and the services that Morgan Stanley provides. And look at this. They're giving you all kinds of information to let you understand. An equities trader embraces her inner entrepreneur, telling you about the people they have working for them, about financing, about their client funding. They have, and by the way, I don't work for Morgan Stanley. I never worked for Morgan Stanley. This isn't a promo for Morgan Stanley. I just picked them because they're a name most people know. And you can look at any brokerage firm you want to, any large brokerage firm, and you will be able to find this information. In fact, small brokerage firms have, to some degree or another, the same information. They want you to know all the details about all the investments that they can make. They want you to know about their people and their personnel. They have profiles of all the people, who are working in this company. They have disclosures, investor relations for you to be able to access this company, their corporate governance, their newsroom, their careers, equal unemployment, their contact information. Gee, that's an interesting one. They're giving us their address. They're telling you about careers, individual investors, client relations. Okay, you get the point. They're letting you know who they are. If you think that that's unique, here goes E-Trade, a company where you get to make the investment. All they do is handle the transaction. What did they tell us about their website page? Yes, you can create. This is what they offer. Explore all the different accounts that you have. They're telling you that they have 0 commissions. You can do option contracts for 65 cents a contract, $1.50 per futures contract. They are willing to give you all of their pricing. They're showing you what their prices are. You know what? There's some more information. They're willing to tell you and let you know. They have a frequently asked questions section, so you can check out all the questions you may have. And they're letting you know how to open up an account and invest. And look at this. We have a company overview. They have investor relations, a newsroom, careers. They're telling you about their ads. They have the contact information, the forms and applications that you need that are required by law for you to fill out. They're telling you about the financial consultants that they provide, who are licensed brokers and investment advisors. They're giving you information. They have a phone number for you, and they can tell you a local branch that's near you. They also tell you, hey, here's FINRA. This is how you can check on any individual broker and any brokerage firm. You can look them up to see what their record is, to see if they have any complaints, any issues, if they've been sued. You can find out about the brokerage firm and the brokers themselves. And they're letting you know that. They also are making sure you know that they are not FDIC insured because they're not a brokerage firm. They are brokers for the transaction, They don't hold on to your money. They're also letting you know that there is no bank guarantee and that you may lose. And then they have a disclosure letting you know what the risks are in general and what that they actually provide and what they cover. And again, they are showing you, by the way, you are SIP insured, securities in your account protected up to $500,000. It is not FDIC insured, but it is SIPC insured. So there is an insurance. There is a protection for your investments, and that's important. And the difference between the two is very important. Again, this is giving you information and letting you know both about the company and the transactions they do and the cost of those transactions. And none of this is hidden behind a paywall. You don't have to, as we go, and I'm showing you live, there is no paywall. They're not saying that you can't find out information without actually clicking on or creating an account. You're not getting, it's not hidden from you. They want you to know. By the way, when you do go to the FINRA and you do the broker check to find out, as you can see here, I have Tradersmining up, and they are in California, as we have found out by tracing their phone number. What are the results? And I will confirm this live with you as I'm doing this. No results whatsoever. Maybe I spelled that wrong. Maybe it should be Tradersmining with a space. Well, let's see what the results are. And the results are the same exact thing. No results found. How about we take out the state? Maybe they're not actually in California. That's just where their phone number is. Let's search again. No results. They are not registered with the United States government as a brokerage firm, as a broker-dealer. That is important to understand. There are problems here. Yet again, many, many, many more red flags. What's their guide? Let's look at the guide. Hidden behind a paywall, hidden behind another wall, stopping you from having information. They want you to have an account. You have to create an account with them. You should not have to do that. That is, in my personal view, that is something that I find to be deceptive. That is something that is a practice done by shady groups who are trying to get your information and to use it for their purposes. This is illicit, in my opinion. And that is definitely not a brokerage firm. What else can we look at on the page that can tell us something? They have support at Traders. Is that the only email they have? Do they not have their investor relations company? Do they not have their corporate regulations? Where are the other departments that they have at this company? Everything goes to just support? Seems like a mighty small brokerage firm to me. Not that there aren't small brokerage firms, but it seems mighty small if that's the only email access that they are providing you. Maybe they have more information to contact us. Let's find out. Nope, you can't find out how to contact this company unless you are opening an account with them, that they are getting your information. Why can I not get their contact information without having to have an account? There is a problem here. So let me go on. And again, this is a public service announcement. These are the issues I have. You may not. They may be a legit company. I have red flags. I would not let anyone I know use this company because of the issues that I am finding here. That's my personal opinion. You may have a different opinion. Now, this company deals with binary options trading and Forex trading. If you don't know what a binary option is, you shouldn't be investing with them. And if they call you, if you don't know what that is, don't be embarrassed. Don't do the investment. Don't invest in something that you don't understand, that you don't know what's happening to your money. If you don't know what Forex trading is, do not spend your money. Do not invest in something you do not understand, because you will lose money and you won't even know why or how. Now I'm talking about, and they show you a wonderful graph of money just moving up. Doesn't this look wonderful? Are you making a move? Are you getting involved? That's a sales tactic. It's meant to make you think that you are missing out, that you need to be involved right now and with them because that could be your money too. Maybe it could be, but not necessarily with this company, not with these transactions. I don't trust them. They mentioned that they're an expert in this field. It's interesting that these experts do not provide you with their phone number, their address. They are not licensed, apparently, with the United States government, with the SEC or the FTC, and they're not found on FINRA, which every broker is, every investment advisor is. Brokerage firms are, and yet they are not, and they won't give you that information for you to find out. So I have a question about whether or not they are experts, because I know I took the SEC, I took the Series 7 exam, I took the Series 4 exam. I know what I was licensed for, and it reflected in my record. You know what? I don't see it in them. And now they go to package plans. There's a $5,000, $15,000, and $50,000 plan. Wait a minute. Why am I giving you my money? A plan for what? What is that plan giving me? Everything you have in your plans is hidden behind a wall that says I have to give you my information to create an account so that I can even see what that is. Why is that the case? Let's check it out. We hit the select and bang, we need to open an account again. Then why are you telling me to give you $15,000 for a plan? I don't know what that means. What's in the silver plan? 100 plus assets. What does that mean? Fixed spreads. Spreads for what? Free signal. A free signal of what? 24/7 support from the one phone number that they have listed, and everything else is hidden, and I don't know if there's any other numbers. Why would I trust that? And they're telling me that they're in London and in Germany, the United Kingdom, in Germany, and in the United States, in New York. They're a California-based company. Why would I trust their support? I don't know where they are. Instant withdrawals. Well, according to my friend, if you have enough money in the account, then you can take it. And they are more than willing, at least some of their employees are more than willing, to fraudulently assign accounts under your name or someone else's name and use your money with that other person. That sounds kind of shady. So imagine you actually go with these guys, you created that account, and that broker that contacted my friend decides, hey, someone else with your same name has more money. They're going to use your account and your social security number and your tax ID information, and they're going to give it to someone else to play with your money. If they're willing to do it for my friend, why wouldn't they do it to you too? That's a red flag. They're willing to let anyone use the money if they can get the names right, it would appear, or at least that one representative that called my friend made that allegation, made that offer. Here's something else that really caught me. Client testimonials. You're looking at this page. Wow, Tradersmining is changing the way investors interact with the market with their seamless solutions. Great work. What solutions to what? What are they actually doing? More importantly, and here's the thing that really stuck out to me, John Smith. Wait a minute, John Smith? The guy's name is John Smith. Are you serious? Well, you know what? Maybe it is John Smith, who I don't know who John Smith is. But let's say that it's, there are millions of people who are named John Smith. Maybe that's a real person. So I look at the next, they only show us 2 of their testimonials for a company that's doing so great and has, as they told my friend, that you can make $1,000 a week, you can live off the dividends. You would think they're doing such a great job. There should be plenty of people who are saying, they're taking care of me. I'm able to retire. So let me ask. Their second person says, I love the support provided and the returns made possible by your expert traders. It's a win-win case. By the way, that's a period here. It is supposed to be capitalized. Again, you are so lazy that you had someone create this website and didn't even follow punctuations and capitalization properly. And the company is so lazy that when they looked at this website, they didn't even notice that it's spelled improperly. They don't care. They're missing the details. Details are investing. If you're investing, the details matter. If you can't even pay attention to that, how can you pay attention to my money properly? That's my thought. That's one of my concerns with any company that is asking for my money. But the person who said that is Jane Doe. Really? I mean, seriously, Jane Doe. Jane Doe is the person. So John Smith and Jane Doe are their testimonials. And if you're saying, well, maybe they're trying to protect someone's name, let me look at what happens with, does Morgan Stanley have any testimonials? Why, yes, they do. They have a testimonial from Melissa, a managing director, vice chairman, chief risk officer, global capital markets, one of their employees. They have someone who's actually telling you, and we know who they are and what their position is. They're telling us what's going on. Are they putting up other testimonials? No. Why? Because they're telling you what they do. And if you look them up, you know who they are. And if you're wondering what they do, they're telling you. Their expertise will lead them. They don't need to try and sell you on what some ambiguous person named Jane Doe or John Smith. You might as well say fake person one, fake person two, in my opinion. That's something that I would say is a red flag and makes me disbelieve that there's any actual human being working with them that has ever given them a testimonial. That is in my opinion. Then they show you Mind Power, Key Vision, Smart Rotate, Vision X, and Sound Effects. Sound Effects, what's that got to do with anything with investing? Sound FX, really? Is that investing? What is that about? These aren't even hyperlinks. What is that? Supposed to make me feel like they're doing something, that they're involved with something? Are those products that they use? Are those companies that they're involved with? Are these companies that use that service? I don't know. Are those even real companies? I don't know. There is no link. It doesn't explain it. It is meaningless. It might as well just be gibberish on the screen because it's not telling me information that would give me confidence to be able to give them my money to do anything. Again, we come down, we have the supposedly international number that is actually in California. They have a contact us. Let's see if this link works. No, it doesn't. So we can't contact them. How about they want us to know about how to trade? Well, that means opening an account. We're not doing that. How it works. How does this work? Here we go. And that puts us back to the top of the page. It doesn't actually get us anywhere. I'll do it again for you. It takes us to the top of the page, and Hamburg is back up in the corner with the same California phone number. You know, there's a problem here. A team of professionals, no link. What professionals? Who works here? Who's in charge of this company? Who is their management? Optimized services. What services? No link. No way to know what they actually provide as a service. On-time service. No link. On time for what? What do you do? Binary options trading. No link. No links here. What do you do? Forex trading. No link. What do you do with that? Investment. Where you invest and make 30% profit of your investment weekly without trade. Really? How are you doing that? What's the process that you're using? Because you are trading. You're trading binary options. You're trading Forex options. You're trading something. There are transactions that are happening here. And you're saying I'm making a 30% profit. How can you guarantee me? That sounds like a guarantee of 30%. How do you guarantee me for 30%? What is my risk? What could I possibly lose? How big a risk is that? They're not telling you. Again, these are red flags. These are things that should make you say, hey, I have a problem. By the way, getting this screen up, anybody can do it. You can pay for it. It's a simple app that you can add onto any website. Doesn't make it official or not. I have a website. I can add that if I want to. It's just an app that I need to get, and I'll be able to get trading on my sites too, or rather the ticker to show transactions on my website, it doesn't mean I'm officially financial anything. Just something that I can add on. Anyone can do it. It doesn't make them official. And as you can see, this is market data by TradingView. The name of this company is Tradersmining. It's not their program. They paid for that. They paid to have this app on their page. It's not theirs. Anyone can get that. And I guarantee you, if you pay TradingView for their app, you will be able to have it on your website too. So we don't know anything about this company. We don't know what they do. We know that they can't spell properly. We know that they have questions. They have individuals that might as well be anonymous 1, anonymous 2. We know that we can't actually see anything about anything they're doing because they've hidden that behind a wall that requires us to give them personal information to open an account. We know that we're looking at this and everything is screaming at us saying, there seem to be problems. Get involved and earn. You, where is the capitalization of you? Can start earning now on stocks. Start trading Forex and binary options with our award-winning broker. Really? Which broker? Who? There's no names. There are problems all over this, folks, and I'm taking my time. I know this is a little longer, but I'm making sure you know all the different things that you can look at between a phone call and the things that they are saying and websites that you can see right here that you can use to evaluate to try and figure out, are they someone who is legitimate? Are they someone I am willing to give my money to? And I'm telling you that everything I am seeing here is making me say, I don't want to give them any of my money. I don't trust them because I don't know anything about this. And everything that would tell me something about them requires me to give them information about myself that I don't want them to have because I don't trust them. By the way, I did want to mention, they have, according to this record, which is reportedcalls.com, they're showing 3 complaints with this company. Gee, I wonder why. I wonder why they have those complaints. 3, not a lot. But then again, I don't know who these guys are. I don't know how long they've been around. It looks like, from the information, that their website was created in 2019. So as far as I know, this is a 2-year-old company. Not even quite 2 years old, but assuming they opened up on January 1st, they're a 2-year-old company, probably less. So they're brand new. I don't know where they came from. I don't know how long they're going to stick around. And I have no reason to believe that they're going to. They don't tell me anything about FDIC insuring my funds. I don't see anything about SIPC insuring my funds or my market securities. I don't see anything that tells me that my money is safe. I do see that they're definitely trying to get my information. That's about it. And by the way, their risk warning, their disclosure statement, which is something that is required of all brokerage firms. Well, this risk statement is horrendous. Risk warning. Binary options and contracts for difference. Contracts for difference? Where is that stated on the page? Nowhere on the page does it say contracts for difference or CFDs. There is no mention of that. What is that? Why would you want to have that? How is that involved in their strategies? Why won't they tell you anything about that so that you can find out for yourself? The CFDs are complex financial products, the trading of which involves significant risks. Binary options trading with our company, Your Capital Safe. Wait a minute. Do you guys speak English? We know that you have spelling errors throughout this page and that your company has not paid enough attention to your own website to correct those mistakes, which means that your company is either lazy, sloppy, or you don't care. But what is this language? You're a US-based company, apparently, because you have a US phone number. So I have to wonder, what kind of language is binary options trading with our company, Your Capital Safe? That isn't a sentence. That is not a sentence in English. It may be a sentence in some other language, And in the translation, they lost something, but in English, that doesn't mean anything. Binary options trading with our company. So are you doing binary options trading with this company, or are you doing contracts for difference? And if you don't know what either of those are, don't invest. Right off the bat, don't invest. But binary options trading with our company, your capital safe. Who speaks like that in English, in American English? British English doesn't speak that way. In fact, there is no form of English, the language English that I am aware of, that uses that kind of form. That's not a sentence in English anywhere in the world that I am aware of. I don't care if you're an Aussie, if you're a Kiwi. I don't care if you're from Canada. No one speaks like that. Which makes me think, again, there's something wrong here because that's not English. And maybe, again, this is another error that maybe it's supposed to be saying something entirely different, and whoever made the website screwed up. Okay, but this is a company that is dealing with people's money for a living. $50,000, $15,000, $5,000. This is a lot of money for some people when in the low and middle class. You know what? That's a lot of money for some people in cash. And you're so lazy or so unconcerned that you aren't even going to check the sentences on your homepage, this page that's supposed to convince people to give you their money, to trust you with their livelihoods. I have massive concerns. This is a problem from start to finish. I cannot say that this is a legitimate or not legitimate site. Can't say that. I'm not going to say that. I am saying that I have massive concerns, that there are several flags that have been raised for me that make me say to anyone I know, do not give this company your money. Do not give them access to your information. Do not speak to this company. And if they call you, hang up on them. Do not speak with them. Do not give them anything because I do not trust it. I would not invest with them. I would not let my family members invest with them. And when my friends contact me and I do the research and this is what I find immediately on this company, in less than half an hour, I'm able to identify these many red flags. I would not let anyone in my family invest money into this. And when I listen to the conversation that I am told they had with one of my friends, and they're highlighting they're making statements and claims that make me believe that if I were a stockbroker back in the day and I had said these same things, I would have been arrested and kicked out of the industry because they are, at least at that time, they would have been illegal and they would have left me liable for lawsuit. So that's the kind of employees they have. You know what? That's what I am understanding. Now, if I have misunderstood something, I will tell the CEO of Tradersmining.com that if they wish to dispute this, if they think that I have made mistakes, if I have misunderstood their company, if they wish to show me that they are registered with the United States government, with the SEC or the FTC, that they are a licensed broker-dealer, that they have all the proper registrations, that they have FDIC or SIPC insurance, that they have an address, that they have a legitimate way for people to be able to contact them without giving their personal information, I will be happy to have that CEO or the COO on this show to speak about this and to explain all the things that I have just identified as being problems, and they can explain why they are not. I am more than happy to give them the time to be able to speak to the public and say, Mike, you got it wrong. If I have it wrong, I don't expect that they're going to make that phone call. Instead, I expect you, if you wish to take my advice from my opinion, and avoid this company like the plague. If you wish, and you found this to be interesting and informative, please like and share. Also, please, we normally deal with political commentary on the long form on this channel. please consider subscribing to us. But this has been a public service announcement based on my opinion and my experience as a stockbroker in looking at this company based on concerns raised by one of my friends. I thank you, and I hope that you're going to have a great day.